Hi there, students. To plunge as a verb, a plunge as a noun, to take the plunge, an idiom, and I guess plunging, an adjective. Okay, plunge has lots of meanings. Oh, I'm also going to do the word a plunger as well. To plunge means to jump into water, to dive into water energetically. So it was a really hot day and we all plunged into the swimming pool. We jumped into. We did it quickly and energetically. Yeah. He plunged his donut into his coffee, dipped it very energetically and quickly. Then we can also use to plunge, meaning to fall suddenly and uncontrollably. The two men were fighting and they plunged off the edge of the cliff. Yeah, and then you can use this meaning metaphorically. The price of the pound plunged on the uncertainty of the British government. So a rapid decrease in value. You can plunge into an action. You can start to do something energetically, maybe impetuously as well. So he decided to plunge in before he changed his mind. And this is where we have the phrase to take the plunge, to commit yourself to doing something. Yeah, but you're a bit nervous about it. Yeah, I've never been bungee jumping. I have actually. But I decided to take the plunge this weekend to do it. Yeah, he's never studied Japanese before, but he took the plunge and embarked upon it. Okay, so it's to commit yourself to a course of action or to do something that you're a little bit nervous about. I didn't know if I should enter the race or not, but I decided to take the plunge. This has this idea of jumping into something. Okay, so to plunge, to drop, to decrease, to jump into. I guess to put something inside something quickly and with force, to thrust, to push into. He plunged his hands into his pockets. He plunged the money into the bag. To thrust, to ram, to drive something in. Yeah, to plunge, to quickly immerse in liquid. He plunged the vegetables in boiling water for a minute just to parboil them. Yeah. Okay, to suddenly change a situation. The electricity went off and we were plunged into darkness. We were thrown into darkness. Yeah. Okay, so we to suddenly enter a situation. Everything was plunged into chaos. It's like jumping into a situation. You suddenly enter that situation. Okay, so plunge, to plunge. A sudden movement downwards, to fall a long way. Yeah. Angel falls, plunges, I don't know, 120 meters. The water plunged over the edge of the waterfall. To plunge, to drop very suddenly in value. Demand plunged and there were problems. People's ability to pay bills has plunged. Unemployment has plunged. It's gone down rapidly. Yeah. Okay, so a plunge, a large fall in the value of something. You could plunge into an activity is you suddenly start doing it. You go in full of enthusiasm and energy. Ooh, a plunger. Well, a plunger, the first thing I think of, when you've got the sink or a basin is stuck and the water won't go down, you've got this thing with this rubber cup and a handle and you put it over and you and it unblocks the drain. Yeah, and that's actually a plunger. But a plunger as well, for example, a syringe, the plunger is the bit that goes in, so it's the bit that you push down. Yeah, and that's the plunger. But firstly, a plunger to unblock the drain. I think this comes from plunge as well. Okay, so to plunge, to drop suddenly, to go down, to plunge into water. Yeah, to plunge, to put something quickly or forcibly into something. He plunged the dagger into his victim. Yeah, the nation was plunged into revolution, to cause to enter into a state. Yeah, I plunged into the cool water. I plunged into the sea. Yeah, to act with haste, maybe recklessly. Yeah, we plunged into the project, although we weren't probably ready. Yeah, to drop suddenly, the value of the currency plunged. Okay, so to plunge, there are loads of meanings there. So to take the plunge, to do something for the first time. Okay, so if something plunges, yeah, they enter it, it falls, they rush in that direction. The plane plunged into the mountain. Yeah, he plunged into the pool. There was a plunge in the value of shares. You plunge something into something, you put it into. Yeah, they plunged bayonets into their enemy. He plunged his face into the water. Yeah, I plunged into my meal. Okay, to plunge into a state, to suddenly enter a state. Yeah, we were plunged into a world of violence. Yeah, the world economy may be plunging into a recession. Yeah, maybe this situation will plunge into war. To plunge into an activity, to get very involved in it, very suddenly. Yeah, he plunged into his work. Yeah, the amount of something plunged, the availability of this product plunged. Yeah, he was on diet and his weight plunged, profits plunged. Yeah, stock markets could plunge as well. Okay, so that's a load of meanings and a load of examples. Okay, formality, to plunge. I think I'm going to give this a 5 in formality. I think you could use it anywhere. And the plunger as well, 5 in formality, particularly for the to unblock your sink. And then as to origin, let's see. It comes from French, plonger, to jump into something, to jump into water, to dive in, and this maybe comes from late Latin plumbatio, to throw a leaded line, a line with lead, plumbum, a plumb line, yeah, to find the bottom of something. So plunge. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, take the plunge. It'll be a good thing for your English. Enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Plunge.